Hey, what's up? This is Sane. I'm going to do a charity live stream on November 2nd, 2020. Pull up my calendar, it's right there. So that's in about 2.5 or 3 weeks from now. I think 2.5 weeks from now. And the reason why I'm doing this charity live stream is because it's supporting mental health awareness. Down here, you see old campaigns that I've done, current campaigns. And mental health is very, very important. I'm going to share a story about my mental health. Before I do that, I'll tell you a little bit about Thankmas on the campaign that I've started. I'll be playing this wolf game. I think it's very Thankmas, very winter, very Christmas type of event. I'll be sporting Thankmas 2024. Jacksepticeye is the I think one of the hosts that are hosting the main thing. Crisis, all the money that you will donate go towards Crisis Text Line and Samaritans. I think this is an Irish company, and this one's around the world. Pretty nice. And then if you guys want to start your own fundraiser campaign, you can. I'm using my audience to raise money for mental health awareness. A few years ago, I donated, I think it was $9, and someone else $8, and someone donated $10 when we raised money for, I think, building homes. I think it was for the poor. I think this is a great year to show your generosity to help people who are in need, especially since we had a global pandemic and a lot of people suffered around the world. Uh, a bunch of people. These are the current fundraisers. There's so many people, so many different types of people playing their games and supporting mental health awareness. Because apparently, if you watch Jacksepticeye's two videos, he shows a video of his personal struggles and his lost video by announcing the campaign. Apparently, 1/8 of the world's population is having a mental health crisis, and that is pretty substantial because we had a global pandemic and we weren't really prepared to deal with something like that. And obviously, since I'm a very small creator, I'll be spreading awareness on my art channel and my gaming channel to raise at least $100. That's the goal because I'm a very small channel. Okay, and I haven't really been active, but I really want to go back being active by at least doing something that matters, which is raising money for charity for a good cause. Now in 2021, we raised $18 out of 100. We didn't meet our goal. This was when I was a much smaller channel in 2021, and we raised money for a new story, which was building houses. Building homes for 1,000 people who lack homes. That was 2021. Kim donated $10. I donated $8. I also donated another $15 to Jacksepticeye's stream, which was awesome. Okay, I'll probably be doing the same thing this year as well. So that was the synopsis of the of Thankmas. Obviously, if you can go there live, which I cannot, the Orphan Theater in Los Angeles to support Jacksepticeye. Get tickets now. And I think he's going to do a live event and raise money for charity. I don't know how much he's going to raise. I don't know if it tells me here. Um, but yeah, maybe it tells you more if you go more in depth into it. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you about a little bit about Jacksepticeye since I'm here. Okay, Jacksepticeye made a video um talking about his mental health struggles, and you should go to his video on his channel. And he has two videos. I might as well I'll show you since I'm here. I'll go to my YouTube channel and I will type in Jacksepticeye because I have a lot of subscribers. Spelling Jack's name's wrong, which is terrible already. Jacksepticeye, I'm subscribed. Okay, it shows right there. Worst time of my life. And he has 2 videos. I think there was one called Lost, but then I think he changed his video to Help. There was a video that he released called Lost. I don't know where that video is actually. Maybe he changed it to Help. Maybe that was a bit of a ways away. There was a video that he released called Lost, and now I can't find it. I don't know where it is, or maybe I'm blind. But maybe it's this. It's this video. Okay, he changed it to Help. Okay. Yeah, because it was called Lost before, and now he changed it to Help. So, and I originally watched this video on my Saints Custom Designs channel. That's why there was not a like for that. But I will give it a like for, again, because it's a good cause. Don't want to pause him there, but I guess I'll leave him there. Okay, so Jacksepticeye and me are the same age. I can relate to him more. We live on completely different sides of the world. We have completely different experiences. We play video games. He has a much bigger channel. I do not. We I guess the only thing I can relate to him is like we're gamers. I can relate to him in some sort of mental health, and I support what he does, and I think he's an awesome person. And yeah, I think this is where the editing should be coming into place. I don't want to compare or anything. I'm not here to compare, but yeah, we're the same age. I can relate to him, and I think he's doing a good job. And he's a really good person, and I enjoy watching most of his content. But the most important content I really like watching is when he does charity live streams and stuff like that. I think that is a really good experience. Sometimes I'm not really into the same games he's into, which is fine. But I will always support Jacksepticeye because I can relate to him so much because again we're the same age, and we like games. And when he opens up about his mental health crisis and he does this amazing event called Thankmas, I will support even more. And I think all of you guys should start campaigns, doesn't matter your size, and should, spread mental health awareness and join in Thankmas every year. Like, you should do it every year. I wasn't been doing it for the last 2 years because I've been suffering from mental health crisis for about 2 years. So this is what my story is. So I'm going to divide the video. I'm going to say the 3 different parts, so you could watch each part if you want. But my mental health problem is I've been seeking therapy for the last 2 years, just like him, because I watched his video. And it's been helping me a lot. And, mental health is hard to find. It's really hard to find, especially call services and stuff. And this should be like a better way to provide 24/7 confidential text-based mental health support in English and Spanish, and hopefully more languages as we donate more money, because we need to spread awareness, because 1/8 of the planet roughly is suffering from mental health problems. And during the pandemic, it's definitely bad, but it's not just the pandemic. It's just normal lives. We suffer through mental health crises, and there's no one to talk to. And especially for men, if men, it's like, oh, I gotta be a man, I gotta be strong. This like really alpha male bullshit mentality that just destroys the very foundation of mental health, right? Mental health is supposed to be for everybody, for all walks of life. And, I don't know really much about Jacksepticeye because I don't know him personally, but I can I can relate to him in certain ways because during the pandemic, I thought about suicide, and I knew that there was something wrong with me, and that's why I went to go seek some help. And then I had these really bad habits that were kind of turning into addictions, and I needed to seek help as well. And yeah, it's just helped so much. Like I don't think you can, as Jacksepticeye said, you can't really get rid of your mental health. And there's just so much negativity online. Everybody just wants to be negative. You watch his Lost video and his other video, um, where he talks about his mental health struggle, which I'm doing right now, is it's just not good. Like the internet is just so negative, and I'm at fault too because I was negative in the past too during the pandemic. I think it's because everyone was on edge. I lost my job. I went into a deep dark depression. I probably shouldn't have got help for my depression before the pandemic started. So it's like a problem on top of another problem. And then it got worse. I was treating my friends like crap because I was really, really depressed. And I had to take a step back and be like, hey, there's something wrong with me. I need to take a step back. I started a YouTube channel so I can just release my stress, and this probably wasn't the best idea. I should have probably just been focused on making a community instead of just playing games and swearing at them and causing more damage uh, as well, which that's why I started a YouTube channel as well, also to help others as well, but mainly just to get out some steam, which is probably not the best idea, I would say. I have an art channel called Saints Custom Designs, and I use that channel to teach people how to make games and make artwork and be in my zen zone. The reason why I'm adding this, I'm not trying to share my channel. What I'm trying to add is you need to have a hobby in your life. You need to make a perspective in your life. You need to have some perspective by doing a project or engaging in a hobby, right? On your own time, and as well as finding a job that helps others. I don't know, get a job where you help the poor or help children. Like before the pandemic, I used to have so many volunteer jobs where I used to be a Boy Scout. I used to help kids. I used to work for daycare. I used to just help people, even help the poor and stuff. And the pandemic really just made me the worst type of individual possible. I became bitter and hateful and resentful, and I wanted revenge all the time, and I became an angry piece of crap during the pandemic. And that was not good. And yeah. So by me going forward is I will stop playing crappy games and I'll start be playing more better games what I should have been doing, some more indie titles and better games that I enjoy that makes my mental health feel better. And I think what I need to do. But now we're actually going to talk about my real story, my darkest moment of my life. Now, this could be triggering. If it's too triggering for you, you can just stop watching because it's pretty bad. I'm not going to go into detail. I've made videos in the past where I've removed from YouTube because I got a little bit too much into the detail, and those things I probably should have just kept for my therapist. But at the time of making those videos, I wasn't really, trust. I wouldn't say trusting my therapist, but I wasn't ready yet to talk about those things with my therapist. because it's just a stranger at the end of the day. You're going to see a therapist. It's a professional help, but even then, you can't just talk about all your personal things right away to a complete stranger. Sometimes you need that time to open up. And it took me about a year and a half to open up to tell everything to my therapist. And my therapist is professionally trained, and she knew I knew that you were keeping things from me, but you need to say everything for you to feel better. And what I'm going to say right now is the trigger warning. When I was a little boy, I didn't have really the best life. I used to bounce back from school to school to school. I think I went through around 6 or 7 schools when I was a kid. I guess I just wasn't a normal kid. I had high ADHD, and they put me on Ritalin and all this other nonsense to try to control my ADHD levels. It's almost being like sugar high, but I was a little bit more than that. I couldn't stay in one spot in the classroom. I always had to move around, and I was kind of not normal. Now, my parents didn't think I was autistic, but there was something just not right with me. And right now, I'm a lot more calmer. But back then, I couldn't stand in one spot. I was like a cat. I had to keep moving, and I couldn't stay in the classroom. Um, and I think it's because of something that badly happened to one of my earlier schools. Because remember, I went to a few daycare schools because of that problem, and then I ended up going to elementary schools, like grade 1s to 8, and middle schools or whatever. And that's when other things happen, which other people can relate. Uh, but this is the big trigger warning. I When I don't know what school it was because it was so long ago. But I vividly remember it. Um, I think when I was about, I think this was in kindergarten or in like, I'm talking about early childhood daycare type of deal. It was like, I could have been like 1 or 2 years old. No, no, no. I was probably 3 or 4 years old, maybe 5 years old at the time. And that's the year when you start getting into kindergarten and stuff like that. I went into a classroom. I was the last student to leave. And since I was the last student to leave, the teacher locked the door, closed the lights, and he sexually touched me as a child. And that really fucked me up real bad. I was scared. I was crying. I didn't know what to do. She said she was the boogeyman, and she sexually assaulted me with some scissors, and that's how bad it was. Okay. And I was only 5 years old. I don't know what school it was, but it was one of the schools around my area. There's so many. I don't remember who it was really, but all I know is that really screwed me up, and I think that added really to my ADHD or something because I after that event that happened, I wasn't normal anymore. Like I didn't know what happened to me back then. I had no way of knowing. All I know it was horrible, and it shouldn't have happened. And that bitch, I'm sorry, it was a woman that did that to me. She needs fucking help. Like she shouldn't be. I'm guessing she was a volunteer that helped children, but she's a pedophile. Okay, and what she did to me was awful. Okay, and I'm not gonna get into details because it's fucked up. That's something that I shared with my therapist, and then because of that, I developed sexual fetishes and desires at that young of age that I shouldn't even be exposed to. And it just got worse from there. And uh, I th- and then I started getting severely bullied in school. People used to shove me into lockers. in the bathroom, people used to threaten to beat me up. They used to like flip me upside down and flush my head down the toilet. It was bullying, physical bullying. I used to get black eyes and beaten up real bad, and because I was a small little kid, like I was a small little boy, like I was a super skinny small little boy. I couldn't defend myself whatsoever, and I had ADHD, and that really screwed me up. That is really adding to my mental health. And then as I went through the years, they actually put me finally in a bit of a boarding school, because they didn't know where else to put me, and I stayed there for a while, and then I went off to college, and then this is where my life kind of like went downhill. But before the college event, I used to attend a swimming program nearby my house somewhere with some friends, and this is when I had the sexual urges, and I was going through puberty at the time. I didn't know how to control my sexual activity. This is where I maybe sex ed class probably would have come into play, because I could learn how to deal with my sexuality probably better. And um I think there was a time where I guess I was walking home from the swimming pool, and our friends, we it was a little dark. It was like at night, like around 9 o'clock ish, getting a little dark. It was near like the autumn period, around September, so it was like summer, but it getting a little darker. And I decided to walk home alone because my friends wanted to take another route, and this was like in the back. It was like in the school, and there was like a lot of forest because I live in Canada. So there's like it's like a little. Since I live in the outskirts of the city, it's like in those areas where it's just like it's a little naked. It's like it's not a lot of people around, just like a parking lot with a bunch of cars and school buses because it's a school. And my friends went one way, and I wanted to take a shortcut because I didn't want to take the long way. And the shortcut was obviously something stupid. I probably shouldn't have done that. I was going through the woods trail by myself, right? And me and my friends were walking shirtless home, and I had those sexual desires again, and I guess I guess somebody saw me and decided it would be a good idea to sexually assault me when I was 13 or 14 years old. Yeah, and he was a bald guy, so now I can't be around bald people anymore because it brings back trauma and memories. Um, I'm not going to go into detail. I was almost kidnapped by this person. He tried shoving me in his car. I tried running away. He threatened if I told anybody, he would just kill me. The way he assaulted me, I was covered with bruises, and I was sexually assaulted in a kind of a fucked up way. I'm not going to get into details because I'm already have anxiety just talking about it, but I need to say it. Like, just don't walk home alone. I guess I was alone, and let's just say I just my dad kept telling me, just don't walk home alone, don't go alone, and it happened to me, and that really fucked me up a long time. I kept it to myself. I didn't really tell my parents or anything. I hid my injuries. They were kind of bad. They were actually really bad. I had like severe bruising, and I think I have permanent marks because I still have the marks still to this day. And that's my trauma. I suffer from being sexually assaulted as a boy. at multiple occurrences throughout my life, right? So it's something that I have to deal with. And even right now, when I go to my church currently, I see kids just like me. And I guess I get into like this, I don't even know what to call it, like this empathy thing where, wow, I hope it doesn't happen to him. Like I see myself in the kids, and I've never had that experience before where now I'm super worried and I start to hyperventilate, and I can't control my trauma. Like my trauma overtakes me. And I've been getting a lot better with it. Like I even had to buy a machine, like a vibration EMDR machine for people to cope with it. But it's really, really hard. Like I struggle going to the doctor's office. I struggle doing almost about anything. I don't even know if I can handle a relationship because of that trauma, that really bad trauma. This video is a bit of a longer video because I'm talking about my story. And my story is I I hope Jacksepticeye did not go through this, but I went through it. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's really, really bad. Like, oh, dude, I think the boarding school I used to go to when I was little, I used to miss like days and days of school. And now I know why, because I was fucking depressed. I used to self harm. I used to cut myself. I used to have a eating disorder. Like it was really bad. I eventually grew out of it, thankfully, but it was bad. And now I have an advanced medical condition. I don't know if it's because of that, but I have a lot of mental health issues and a lot of physical issues. I'm allergic to fruits and vegetables, I think. I cannot eat it, but I can eat peanut butter just fine. It's such a terrible thing. And I did thought about suicide. I thought about taking my own life even just last year. And I've been seeking therapy for a long, long time. About 2 or 3 years now. And I know I spend a lot of money, close to $500 or $1,000, but it was worth the investment. I think there needs to be better mental help for people, especially people who went through the same struggles as I do. People want to say that I'm an asshole and I'm a raging asshole online and all that. And I know I was. But maybe this is why. Maybe this is part of my mental health problem. Maybe this is just something with me that I can't control, but I was able to step away from YouTube for a while, for like probably a year now, and just focus on things that I like instead of just keeping on the grind. And my channel has literally plateaued to a certain point to where it almost feels like I'm being shadow banned or blocked, right? And maybe it's because I was kind of an asshole because I couldn't handle my mental health. So everyone reacts differently to mental health. And I think we need to help everybody. We need to even help these pedophiles that decided to sexually assault me when I was a little boy. They need the most help. Now, some of you guys be like, you need to kill them. No, killing them, we're just going to step to their level. We need to help these people as well. We need to find out how they became pedophiles, what led them. Obviously, it, I didn't, like, I never thought about being a pedophile, and I was touched. I don't know what leads you to think like this. I think this is some sort of like other mental illness, because a lot of people, which pisses me off, if I'm being honest, as a victim, is they think that the victims become the predators. And I don't really think that's how it is. Maybe there's a little bit of a similarity, but if that was the case, I would have been a predator already. Why am I going to wait this long? It doesn't make any sense. That reasoning doesn't really hold up. There are other factors involved when somebody becomes a predator, and we need to help predators. Okay, and I think the problem with the jail system is we just throw them in prison, and we're just throwing them in prison because we think that they did it because they're a bad person. Now there's a few cases where it's like that, but I think 90% of predators are fucking insane and they need help, like severe help. Like they need the type of help where they need to be locked away from society because they're a danger to society, but they need real help. And there are medications out there that can help control that type of behavior. Now, there's some people with certain religions that are against medications. I get that. But if you're into this extreme category, maybe medication can help you. I personally tried taking medication for my mental health. It didn't work. I had to take AMDR and talking. That helped me more. Medication is not for everybody, but medication can help people with mental health struggles a lot. I take medication for anxiety. That helps me. It's just like it's almost like weed or marijuana, but not exactly. It's just like a thing to calm me down. Medication helps me there. Okay? And it's just a little dose too. That helps me there. So medication does work. Medication is a valuable tool. Okay? So we need to spread more awareness for mental health. Now, if people don't watch this type of video, then I feel very sorry for you because you could really learn really something about it. Because I'm sharing all the stuff my psychologist said and handing it over to you. Okay? I have a great relationship with my psychologist, not that type of relationship, just a psychologist type, because you have to build trust with your psychologist because she's a professional or he is a professional, and he or she or whatever is going to help you with your mental health struggles, okay? Because everyone has a different type of trauma. I shared mine. I was sexually assaulted. Jacksepticeye, there are people in this house that were pointing guns at each other. Like, I literally really watched this video and that's trauma. You shouldn't be able to experience that as a kid. You know, it's almost like hopping a fence and you break your ankle. Well, you're going to never hop fences again. And when you try to hop a fence, it's going to be the most difficult thing for you because that's your trauma. My trauma is dealing with predators. And then when I see other kids, for whatever reason, when I'm around other kids who are just like me, who is little and small as I was, I just get so nervous and so full of anxiety because I'm they're were like me and I want to protect them, you know, and I think there was even a time where in my daycare job I started to cry because I my PTSD was overtaking me, and I think I can work with children more. I think I can be around children more now that I've conquered this mountain, this obstacle that I've overcame. I've also controlled my addictions and stuff. And I'm going to say one more thing before I end this video is if you're struggling with mental health, please seek help. Don't try to use your bad habits as a way, as an outlet to deal with your mental health because it kind of doesn't work. As terrible as it is I used to go online and have sex with strangers. Not really, but I used to do like BDSM and all that stuff with strangers to deal with my mental health. And that is very, very dangerous. And I'm glad that I don't do that anymore, but I used to do that, and that is really bad. And on those websites, those fetish websites or whatever, there are so many people that struggle with the same exact problem, and that is they were touched as a kid, and now they're trapped into this prison that they can't get out of, which is a mental health struggle. Because the way I was sexually assaulted, I've developed a fucked up fetish because of it, and everyone's gonna have their own. And some people just develop one over time just naturally. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about sexual assault trauma that causes unhealthy way of thinking, an unhealthy sexual way of thinking because of the trauma. You know, and when I think about a child, I can't even imagine how someone can just sexually assault a child and force their fetish on top of the child, because that is extremely levels of bad that I can't even compare. That is, it's not disgusting, it's just levels of creepiness that you just cannot compare. When I used to work with children, I didn't even think about any of that. I just had joy being with children because I was a Boy Scout leader. I used to be with children. We used to hang up at the campfire. We used to roast marshmallows. We used to go on hikes. We used to I used to grab the children and we used to like do this big ass hug, right? Because we were all like cold because it's Canada. We used to like keep each other warm by the campfire. That's what it's about being with children. We were supposed to create good memories with each other and remember good memories, not to abuse them. What? I, if you have thoughts about abusing children, you need to you need to turn yourself into a mental asylum or at least talk to a therapist, because though that's not normal at all, and I don't know what causes you to have those thoughts, but I know sometimes we have fucked up fantasies and all that, but if you start having fantasies like that, I think you need a mental health assessment. I don't want to be rude, but it's better you get a mental health assessment till you ruin someone else's life, because my life was ruined. I'm 34 years old, the same age as Jacksepticeye, and I hope I can get better before I reach 40. Oh, because I am starting to feel better. It's just join my therapy. Join my live stream. It's going to be a good live stream. I'm going to be playing a Fox game. I'm going to be supporting an indie company with a mental health stream towards it. With this background I created with Photoshop, these bells and all that, these jingly bells and everything. I'm an artist, if you haven't tell, and I love helping people, and I want a job where I can help people as my main job now. I lost my job, but I want it back, and I'll go even harder. And since I have a third eye, I can actually see what the parents and the kids don't see, is to watch out for child abusers. Because I won't let a child get abused. That's just something that I would never allow doing. This is a very personal video, and I'm willing to share it with the world. I've made videos in the past that are completely inappropriate, and I went too much into the detail of my sexual assault. And that's just something for your therapist. You need to talk with a therapist and share like the the basics and maybe go into a little bit of detail, but not TMI, that too much information. Don't go too overboard. And so it's appropriate for the TOS on YouTube, because if you describe your sexual assault, you're probably going to get banned because people don't need to hear that. It's like having that movie that came out. Um, I don't even know what it was called. It was the movie where children are being molested or whatever. It's like an awareness movie. I forgot what the name of it is. Um, but I don't think that's an appropriate movie to be shared. I feel like that should have been a documentary and not a movie, because no, that's disturbing. Like that's like next level horror. Like horror movies are one thing and that is just like bad. You know what I mean? Like horror movies are supposed to be fake and thrillers. That is just like real serious, you know? I feel like they shouldn't have made a movie because of that. But yeah, but that movie, I couldn't watch that movie. That movie hits way too close to home. And maybe people can actually relate to me more after making this really personal video. But that's going to be the end of my 40-minute video. Uh, it's a very serious topic, and I hope you guys have a wonderful 2024 and a happy new year, and start thinking about new resolutions. I'm going to be making video games finally in 2024, and I'll use that as my Zen zone, as I've been making all the maps that I've used with all the other editors like Minecraft and so on. I never used Minecraft, but I'm using that as an example because it's a popular editor people use. Find your purpose in life and always help others. This is Insane the Legends Gaming. And I'll see you on more playthroughs. And please stay tuned for this important live stream, because I'll be putting this on my art channel and my gaming channel. I'll divide the video into several chapters so it's more easier to watch. And that's it. I'll see you there. And please donate to these charities when you have time. We want to make the world a better place. Laters. I probably could have condensed this video a little bit more, but this is such a personal topic. I don't want to like review the video and edit the video of something that I don't want to hear multiple times because it is triggering. So I'm going to just upload it as one video, right? Because for this type of video, I again, it's triggering. I don't feel like editing and rewatching it. So this is going to be a bit of a longer video, unedited, but a proper one to promote my charity and to promote his charity, because this is very, very important event. So please donate. I'll be sharing this to all my social media accounts. Well, just my Facebook. And maybe my Instagram, because it's really so important to me. So yeah. So laters. And please support Thankmas 2024 by either donating to my stream on December 2nd or joining the live event, which I'll be joining on December 6th. His event will be live streamed and says live from the Orphan Theater in Los Angeles. Thank you.